welcome back to the Oversharers podcast. My name is Colton.
And I'm Harbour.
And today we have a brand new episode featuring just us.
Yay!
So how have you been, Harbour?
I don't know.
How's your weekend been?
I don't remember. Did I go out with you?
Yeah, we went out on 2 occasions. We went to...
What did I do with you?
So
my God, we did football.
We did football.
And I scored a goal.
And I assisted.
Did you? Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, my God.
This girl, she just wants to take all the glory
no,
for
I
herself.
don't. I was so proud of that goal, guys. Wallahi, yeah. If you saw me. And then afterwards, I tried to get a second goal and I dropped. It was embarrassing, but,
oh,
you know.
my God. It was the most... It was such a fun experience, but the aftermath, like waking up that next day, I felt like I got hit by a train.
Yeah, I couldn't walk. Can we just talk about the warm-up? I know why these footballers make money. Wallahi, yeah. The warm-up beforehand, deaf. Did you not feel like your chest was burning? I couldn't run. And then the coach was like, run 5. And then you have to sprint 5 times back and forth.
But you know, pitch. She said afterwards, I'm going to just say her name. It's Coach Ikra. Please go and follow Coach Ikra on Instagram and whatever social media platforms that she's on, because she's amazing. But she was saying to us how when she goes to training for her own little football training thing that she does, the professional stuff, right?
Yeah.
She was like, they make her do like 10 times worse than what we did in the warm-up.
Like 14. 14 sprints.
She said 10 sprints.
She said 14 to me.
Did she say 14?
Up and down the pitch, guys.
And then she kept making us do these little
1, 2.
And then the header and the catch game. That was so much fun. So we played this game where she goes around with the football, and if she says header, you've got to catch it. And if she says catch, you've got to header it. So it's really confusing. Like psychologically,
she did really well in that.
She was torturing us low-key, innit? It was
fun. It felt like PE.
Yeah, it felt like PE. It felt like camp.
Yeah, it was fun. And then what else did we do?
We went to Wonder Mix's
we went to Wonder Mix.
Pre-shop opening party.
I still have the smoothies in my fridge.
So do I. I wonder how long they last for.
Till the 28th.
Oh, okay. So we've got to finish those. Yeah. They're really nice though, I'm not going to lie.
Very tasty. Love
that was really fun. We got like a goodie bag. He was really lovely. It was like we felt very welcome, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a fun event.
Yeah.
Too many men, but it was okay. Guys, how did we walk in and there was just like 1,000 men? I was like...
I was sweating.
And I couldn't see Colton. I was like, where am I going to find this guy? How awkward is this? I was like, I wasn't even dressed to my nines. All the men looked like physically, like the clothing they were wearing was nice.
Yeah.
Everyone was dressed up basically.
They were very trendy.
Me and Colton came back from work. Literally, we looked so bummy. I did my makeup in like 5 seconds.
We had bubbles on our coats.
And Wallah, my coat looked like I had dandruff, guys. It was my work coat, yeah. And then I walk in and I just see 1,000 men. I'm like, below, where's Colton? So then I have to look around. I'm calling. You know when you call someone and like they're not picking up the phone and you're standing there like a idiot, like just on the phone, like looking. Oh,
when I walked in, I was just doing the most awkwardest things. So I'll just go and stand somewhere, pretend I'm reading something. You know when you feel nervous, guys, you just do strange things. Awkward. And then finally I went downstairs and I saw Amina and I was like, oh.
And then I saw Colton on Amina. I was like, I can see women.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun event and it was really nice to see like loads of like Muslim, Black, Somali creatives like together.
Yeah.
Like we met so many people like we always see online. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But guys, check out Wonder Mix store. It's number 2 Percy Street next to Tottenham Court Road Station. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Actually, 2 people got killed in the West Bank during the pause. And then also the hostages from the Israeli side got released and they all seemed very like well clothed, well fed. They were even saying bye, waving, shaking hands. Whereas when the prisoners were released from Israel, the Palestinian kids and women and children were released from imprisonment basically. Like some of them were in there without a charge. The Israeli government basically said once the Palestinian prisoners were released, no one could celebrate their release.
That's sad, isn't it?
Like no one could come to each other's houses to be happy. Like just the control is just so sad. And the last thing I wanted to say is that father with his daughter, and he had a beard, and like he was kissing her face. Honestly, I envisioned...
Was that the one that was talking about the earring?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so heartbreaking.
And it was like he was just stroking her face
like,
and smiling.
He goes, the soul of my soul, or something like that. And I just, ouch.
Like, when I saw him stroking her face, it just reminded me of me and Issa. When he goes to bed, I just stroke his face. It just, it was so sad. But she's dead.
So sad, isn't it?
Subhanallah.
I just think it's a bit mad because, like, even though there's a pause, they're still arresting children, aren't they, in Palestine?
Yeah.
They're still arresting Palestinian children. And then they released, like, 117 hostages. No, 117 prisoners, and then, like, arrested 116 in the West Bank. And it's like, what are you doing? Point?
There's so much happening in the West Bank at the moment. Like, there was a guy standing with his daughter near a shop. He just got shot randomly. Then there was another woman or a man, I don't know if it was a young kid or a woman, who was shot, and then like no other people were allowed to touch their bodies because the sniper was still like shooting every time someone came near the body. Like, it's just unhumane.
Another thing that they do, is they just pick kids up in the street, arrest them for no reason, and then say, well, you were throwing stones at the protest. You have to admit to throwing stones at the protest, otherwise we're going to get your mum and your dad. And then like, basically they'll give him a telephone to like be able to speak to a lawyer, and then obviously they find that the child's trying to communicate with their mum. They snatch the phone, and then they're basically saying you have to admit to these charges. They put them in prison for like 3 to 6 months for doing nothing.
And then they extend it. So if it's like 6 months, they'll extend it again for another 6 months, and then another 6 months. And that's all in that time where they haven't had any justice. They haven't gone to trial. They haven't gone to court. There's no like...
But low-key, I think they want people to be angry. They want to enrage the Palestinian people so that they can point the finger at them later on and say they're barbarians, they're aggressive, they do this, they do that. Because it doesn't, like, why are you just picking up little kids off the street and arresting them for no reason? It makes no sense.
For me, what's really scary is, like, a lot of the Israelis, which we'll say the current government there is quite far right, a lot of them are saying, like, a lot of rhetoric that's quite like Nazi, like comparing the Palestinians to Nazis, or like saying the Nazis had a cause. So like they'll say things like like they will justify what the Nazis did. So say like they had a cause for what they did, or like I read this article that basically said, it was written by an American journalist, and he basically said what the Nazis did they weren't happy with, meaning the Holocaust. So some of the men apparently, the soldiers would drink if they killed anyone in the Holocaust, for example, to get rid of the burden of what they did, and they would feel guilty. And then they're basically comparing that to Palestinians and saying Hamas, not Palestinians, saying that Hamas has no guilt. They literally just do what they do, essentially saying that Hamas is worse than Nazis, which to me is like, how are you going to justify it that way? It's actually crazy.
It's just a joke. You know what, guys? I just feel like this whole pause situation is a bloody joke.
What does pause mean? So you're going to pause now, and then like what, in 48 hours we're going to bomb again? Like, how does that work?
And do you know what's wild? During the pause, you're seeing little babies able to go and sit on the beach and just look at the sea view. And it's like, it's really sinister, because it's like, right, in 4 days, we could potentially die. Like... We're going to be bombed by the occupying forces.
There was this little kid
but it doesn't make sense. How are you stopping everything for 4 days? Because psychologically, that's going to F with you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're experiencing a bit of peace right now. And then potentially we have to start, like, running again.
But it's the idea of treating it like a war. Do you know what I mean? And if we really think about it, is it a war? Because one side is far more equipped than the other. If you think about it.
Yeah, it's not a war, it's an attack.
It's one-sided.
Exactly.
At the moment, the way it is.
The way I see it.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Praying for the people, may Allah aid them.
I mean.
And we'll continue to talk about it.
Something positive.
Go on the thingy.
Ty Dolla $ign is a Muslim.
Guys... Is that an actual fact? We saw him praying in a masjid.
But then
do
the
we
thing
know
is, it could be, it's either he's embraced Islam, or
he's learning about it.
He's learning about Islam, or he's just doing what he usually does and he's a praying man. Do you know what I mean?
I need to Google this.
Because I heard there's loads of people in the industry that are Muslim but can't really say that they're Muslim for fear of reprisal. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, people are basically seeing him praying and everyone's saying that he's reverted. But there's no factual information to say this man has reverted.
Yeah, he could have already been Muslim. I don't know, innit? I don't know. People are saying he embraced Islam. Galada, what do you think?
I mean, he was praying.
Yeah, guy gave him the Quran. Usually that's a sign of someone's taken their shahada.
No, there was another guy that was praying as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
And he said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to think about that one. So, Ty
Well,
Dolla
shout
Sign,
out
guys,
to Ty Dolla Signs. Allahumma barik.
has embraced Islam. So, the guy that was with him, I don't know his name, Money something, and he's like a bit of a big dog in Dubai, billionaire's son. But apparently hasn't asked for he hasn't asked his dad for a dime since he was 15 years old. So he makes his own money. So he's a self-made geezer.
All right, cool.
And he was also he hangs around with rappers quite a lot. And he was seen with a guy called NLE Chopper. Not sure if you guys know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the other video that I saw.
Who has also embraced Islam.
No, we don't know that though. He was just praying.
They could already be Muslims. We're not
Guys,
sure.
these rappers go to Dubai and they put on a...
He wasn't wearing a khamis. He was wearing regular clothes. Tattoos on show. Everything.
No, I saw a video of him wearing khamis, standing next to the guy.
No, Ty Dolla Sign wasn't wearing
Not
khamis.
Ty Dolla Sign. I'm talking about NBA Chopper. Is that his name?
NLE,
whatever he's
Chopper.
NBA. That's not my age showing. Anyway, him.
NBA boy Chopper, yeah?
whatever Chopper his name is, yeah.
Man like Chopper.
Man like Chopper was wearing a khamis, but a lot of them, like Rick Ross goes to Dubai all the time and he wears a khamis. That does not mean he's embraced Islam.
I know, but NLE Chopper was praying. Do you see Rick Ross praying? Because you know when someone prays, usually they're praying to Allah.
Oh no, guys. No.
He wasn't doing this. Our Father, art thou in heaven. He wasn't doing that. He was in salah. He was prostrating.
As a kid, can I ask you the question? As a kid, yeah, secretly, guys don't judge. You know what I'm about to say? Secretly, did you ever just go like this? For those in the audio that wants to listen, yeah, you know when Christians, and I'm not even taking the piss, so don't come for me, yeah. But as a kid, I used to always see in my school loads of Christians, over Irish Christians, always do the cross.
Yes.
And I used to think what does that mean? I used to secretly do it.
So you just did that?
Just for the vibes, because I didn't know. But yeah,
it's alright. We did a lot of stuff in primary school.
So I'm saying, did you?
Because our teachers did it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do that one. That one's a bit
really
a bit mad,
is that a bit mad one?
But what I did do was I was an angel in the nativity.
Oh my God, let's talk about the nativity for a second now.
What is your son
because
getting
my
roped
son's
into the
yes. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even want to break his little dreams because he's 5 years old. Yeah.
Talking about Father Christmas.
No. He talks about Santa all the time. But I've said to him, Santa's just a man. That's all I say because I don't want to break his little heart. And then we talk about Allah. He knows where Allah. He's always said when you say to him, "Where's Allah?" He goes up. So he knows the stash. And recently we've started with. Why am I justifying what I'm teaching myself? And I teach him, who's my deen, who's my prophet, who's Allah. Okay, moving on. Now that we've got that out of the way. Right, anyways, yesterday, opened his little bag up and he had nativity lines for the nativity play. So I was like, oh, when did you get this? He was like, oh, last week I'm going to be in the nativity play. And
what role?
Oh, because it's not a big role.
If you got Mary or Joseph, you're lit.
Yeah, no, he hasn't got, I don't think he's got the attention.
And if you got the three wise men, you're lit as well.
Absolutely not. I think he might be a tree. But no, he's not a tree actually because he's got a line.
Yes, it can't be a tree.
He's got a long line that he has to memorize, which he's actually really proud of. No, but the question is, guys, yeah. Then I was speaking to the Somali mums and I was like, listen, you lot have kids now. Your kids are a bit older. What, you let them go to the nativity play? And they were like, yeah. He's 5 years old. He's not even going to remember it. Let him go. It's just for the vibes, basically. So now I'm just going to let him do it. But they were when he gets to year 2, year 3, you got to stop them because that's when they...
Yeah. Do you know what my dad
internalize
did? God rest his soul. Allah and Harista, yeah. They did a performance of nativity in the class. And he said, you know what? You can do that one. I was an angel, bear in mind. I didn't have a big role.
So cute.
But then what they wanted to do was do the same performance at the local church. It was
that's another step,
over
though.
my dead body. Are you doing a nativity play in the local church?
Oh, sorry, that's
And then I got upset.
level.
I was like, no, but like,
You
my
don't
my
know.
whole class is going to
Exactly. It's the feeling left out. And I don't want to do that to him. But then I'm also like, oh, God. So like now, for the next 3 weeks, I've got to really enforce the tawheed. Like it's got to be up there in the household because it's a bit peak.
Yeah, you got to balance it out.
Honestly, the identity of raising kids in this country is a bit mad, but what can we do?
Yeah, what can we do, innit?
So have you heard about Nella controversy?
I have.
Poor Nels.
Poor Nella.
Honestly, I just feel like, there's not a lot of us people of colour on telly, mainstream telly, not like Channel 4, YouTube and whatever. Like, and also we need to think about a scripted show is different to like a scripted YouTube show that has like edits and cuts, and you can really chat to your manager and like take something out if you wanted to. Like similar to this podcast, we can take out whatever we want. Yeah, it's not the same as like a mainstream live every single day shoot television show. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I just genuinely feel like you need to have the right vibe to go on that place. Do you know what I mean? And like the right sort of media training to go on like mainstream telly. Not that I'm saying she shouldn't, because obviously she's trying to get her bag, and if she does really well, which we hope she does, then obviously she'll get bigger, better things. Yeah, it's worked out for Alison Hammond. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But my point is, it can go either one way or another. And right now it's going the other way, and it's real awkward.
It's mad. But I also think that like ITV should have probably vetted her better.
In what way though?
And I'll tell you why. Because if they did their vetting process properly and they invited a black woman to come on live prime time television, like knowing their analytics, knowing their audience are predominantly white people, do you know what I mean? And like, and those sorts of people are going to be the ones that fall into those traditional tropes, like the angry black woman. And
but that's their fault. It's
that's what I'm saying. But that's the audience that is basically dragging her right now on the internet. Can I just say, they're saying that she overreacted, but people's responses to trauma are very different. Do you know what I mean? Overreacted in the conversation with that man.
No, I get that. And I'm not gonna lie, I get where they're coming from, but I also think their audience overreacts. The audience and the media overreacted to how they approached the situation. Like they could have just let that go. It wasn't that deep. Like Fred's okay, Nella's okay.
Yeah, but they dragged it on.
But they dragged it on more.
And then that's what's causing this predominantly white audience to essentially drag it. And I'll tell you why it's a dragging. It's because it's not like the things that I'm seeing on the internet aren't even based on the show anymore. They're literally trying, they're coming for her character, her things that she said online. They're bringing up stories, etc. And I think that's racialized. I'm so sorry.
Of course it is.
It's mad.
But also, another thing that made me really sad is on Twitter, the same people, not just Twitter, but social media in general, like the same people, that will hype you up, like when you're at your highest, like they will love you the most, are the first people to drag you down. It's so sad. Down. It's like people don't even like, you know what's so scary about Nella, It's the concept that people were dragging her for doing a trial where she was like stuck in this really confined space. It's dark, there's like animals all around you, like insects all around you, and then like she said she didn't want to do it anymore, and she clocked out, and people were like, like she and in my mind I'm like, if you were in that situation, mate, you would not even be speaking. I'm so
that's
sorry.
What I'm saying. You can't predict what someone's gonna say when they're in a heightened environment like that. You can't predict how they're gonna, like, maybe she was triggered by the comment he made. Maybe it's her environment and just like the shit that she's doing currently.
She's probably hungry, tired. She's not even sleeping in her bed properly.
And how many times do we snap at each other, like generally, on a day-to-day? Like, come on.
Valid.
Over some dumb stuff.
Valid.
When you know, like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think she needs to be dragged to the point where like, it's racial. you're like bringing her down. People are saying like her whole career's gone. I'm like, really?
I don't think so.
She'll bounce back. She always does.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's just sad. Like people just like they're waiting for your downfall. It's the same as like Monet and Jalen at the moment. You know Monet McMichael on TikTok. So her and Jalen are going out. Do you know who Jalen is? Right, cool.
that guy from Love Island.
Yeah. So they're going out. At the peak, everyone loved them. Now people are turning on them.
What?
And I'm like, what is going on? People are actual haters.
No,
and it's so...
no.
Wallahi, have you not seen the TikTok feed? Am I lying?
Jalen.
Have you not seen the TikTok feed? Everyone... People are coming back saying... Because basically, Jalen put out this video where he's like, I'm a metro sassy something man. Yeah? And loads of people did skits on it. And basically said, yeah, no, you're begging it now because it's just too much. Loads of people are saying that he's basically looking in the comments and acting like the perfect boyfriend. People are haters. I'm telling you, it's so weird. People are saying Monet's unrelatable anymore.
They think that Jalen is basically trying to embody
the perfect boyfriend
based on people's comments on TikTok.
Yeah, like people are weird. I'm telling you.
So crazy. Do you know how crazy it is to make that assumption?
Search up the stitch, guys. I'm not lying. I've seen about 6 stitches of people saying, yeah, this guy's weird now. Like, he's weird.
They say he's too good to be true.
And they're only saying he's weird
because they're happy.
No, it's because they're happy, but also it's because he put out this statement that basically said, I am a metro sassy something man who embraces femininity and masculinity. Like, don't put me in a box, basically. I'll do what I want.
But I don't understand how that relates to
Monet and him.
Yeah.
So that relates to Monet and him because people are on the slyly coming for Monet recently because they keep saying that she's unrelatable anymore. That's what I'm saying to you. When people get to a certain stature in their influence, people assume, yeah, like they're too good to be true. It's the same as the Pookie guy. You know, the guy that does this and people are like, oh yeah, he's annoying now. Oh yeah, he's this now. Oh, he's not vibes anymore. Oh, this is jarring now.
Yeah.
Even though they're the ones... The consumers, the audience are the ones that put him up to this level. Yeah. And it's like, to me, it seems like people are literally just waiting for your downfall.
That's sad, isn't it?
And it's so scary. Like, and I'm not even going to compare this to us sometimes, but I just feel like the way people comment, like, rashly on stuff. In my head, I never do shit like that. But you can't control everyone. But my point is...
Go off, Father, go off. Go off.
That's all I'm saying.
Go off, sis.
And then you got to see all the stitches. It's crazy. And to me, it's like Monet and Jalen are actually happy. Like,
yeah,
they're pretty.
I mean,
successful.
Of course.
And they seem happy, so
on
let them
surface,
be.
Yeah, just let them be.
Do you know what I mean? Even if they're having issues, that's their beef. But my point is, why were you fantasizing about them?
Waiting for them.
Why were you making these little threads and these little TikTok sounds and these little TikTok pictures and videos about them? And now you're hating. Like, it's confusing to me.
People are saying now that he abandoned his ex-fiancée and 3 kids after fully integrating themselves into their lives and acting as a stepfather that he didn't want.
Oh, come on. They're clutching at straws now with Jalen, bless him.
So basically they're saying that I don't know if you guys can hear that, but basically they're saying that his previous ex, she had 3 children and he like integrated himself into their lives. He was looking after the kids. He was very involved. Obviously they broke up and he just left. So they're judging him for that now. People have exes. They move on. Like, come on, it's not that deep. And it's not his kids. Exactly. He didn't abandon his children. But my point, the whole point of this whole thing, it started from Nella and it's gone to Monet and Jay.
But you know what really freaks me out is the like digging for like personal information, like going back, trying to find small little bits of information from their past, just to create a narrative.
Just to create your downfall. It's really sad.
No, that's insane.
But that's why I always say, anyone that has TikToks or Twitters from previous years, please... delete any madness that was on there before you get caught. It's the same as Trish who won Big Brother. No, she didn't win Big Brother. She came out and she was like a fan favourite. I'm not gonna lie, her tweets were a bit mad.
They were a bit mad.
But
it's the fact that somebody went out of their way to go and search, like literally trawl through all these tweets to get to be like, bingo, got you.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of that guy, that cyclist that watches people that drive with their phones in their hand and then he reports you. You know, he's so evil. He actually attends court to witness people get points off their license.
That guy's actually jobless. Like, That's his jobless
That's
behaviour.
a level of like petty that you've got to be. That's the level that these people are on. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, that brings us to Morocco. Essentially, with the Morocco snippet, I think our intention was to highlight the hard truth that some married men are trifling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was our message. But I think it's been taken out of context to, like, with the understanding that we've, ruined a reputation of Moroccan women.
Guys,
it's always, you know what I mean? We're here for the girlies.
We are.
I know it was an inflammatory, TikTok that we referenced, and my bad, I know that TikTok was inflammatory.
We're never going to reference Aki Ayman again.
When I listen to that back, I know that that's a bit of a mad TikTok.
What we do want to say is that we appreciate all the feedback that we got in the DMs and all the messages that we got from the snippet, and we're going to take that forward and make sure that we don't reference something like that ever again. So yeah, we love you guys and thank you for supporting us always. Okay, right. So guys, we asked you this week, what are you leaving behind in 2023? Cotton, what are you leaving behind?
I'm leaving behind a lot in 2023. I'm leaving behind poor choices. Honestly, I'm leaving behind just a load of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Feces.
Just a very depressing year.
I am leaving behind... I don't know. What am I leaving behind?
What are you leaving behind?
Negative choices.
Oh, poor choices.
I'm leaving behind.
Bad skin. I'm going to drink loads of water next year.
My skin wasn't that bad this year.
I'm leaving
behind. I'm leaving behind weight gain.
Yes.
Started the gym again. There we go. I'm leaving behind negative thoughts. Overthinking,
negative self-talk,
always feeling like you're depressed, but really you just need to get up and start moving.
Feeling sorry for yourself.
I'm leaving behind. What else am I leaving behind?
I'm leaving behind being a couch potato.
Valid. I'm leaving behind binge watching. I don't want to binge watch anymore.
I'm
good.
I'm leaving behind procrastinating on my work.
i.e. I'm leaving behind my job. I might be a stay-at-home wife. You never know, guys. It might be a thing for me. You never know.
I'm leaving behind screen time.
Valid. I'm leaving behind feeling too scared to post on TikTok.
Love that one.
There you go.
I'm leaving behind being too scared to post on Oversharing Beauty.
Indeed. That's a big one for you. Big one. Even Galada knows that one. What else am I leaving behind? I'm leaving behind smutty books.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
We've seen goodness. What else?
I'm leaving behind not slacking on my prayers.
Very good. Valid. You know what a really good point would that be? I've recently started doing this thing where if I don't pray my prayer on time, I pinch myself. It's a form of pain, but it gets me up. I don't know if you want to take that on board, but it's been helping me.
Do you know what just to add to that,
but it's it creates a habit in your head to you don't want to feel pain, so you get up.
So just to add to that, so when I used to work in the psychiatric unit many years ago, trigger warning, but what the kids used to do to get the thought out of their mind to self-harm was they'll put an elastic band around their wrist and snap it.
Now it's not the same as that.
It's not, gravity wise.
But for me, it just stopped delaying.
I quite like that. I might do it with the elastic band.
But I just pinch myself, so it's been working. We're talking a lot about self-harm here. I'm very sorry, guys.
It's gone
a bit dark.
Yeah.
Okay, what else am I leaving behind? Not saving money, bad money choices. I'm leaving behind, hopefully, paying off my credit card this year, and I'm never getting one again.
Inshallah.
What else? I mean, I will get another one, but not with the high limit. Moving on. What else?
I'm leaving behind.
This is very long.
I'm leaving behind. What else? There's a lot we're leaving behind, isn't there?
So much I'm leaving behind. I'm leaving behind not getting therapy. Well, no, I do get therapy, but not attending it regularly. So I'm going to carry on attending, being consistent with myself, with my health and my mental health. What else is yours?
I'm leaving behind sleep, bad hygiene.
Valid.
Sleep hygiene.
Oh my God, I'm a night owl. I was telling you about it the other day.
What do you even call that? Sleep hygiene.
Yeah,
sleep hygiene.
So you're leaving behind bad sleep hygiene.
Bad sleep hygiene.
Valid. I'm leaving behind. What am I leaving behind? Not getting triggered by unsolicited advice.
Oh, I love that one. Because
That's what I'm leaving behind.
For the podcast.
Not being consistent.
Yeah, we're leaving behind not being consistent on the podcast. We're leaving behind just...
Oh my God, we got a whole new halal...
Yeah, the halal things. I'm thinking
framework.
We're leaving behind inflammatory rhetoric, things that are not very halal.
So please don't send us any crazy stories about your husbands, I beg.
Yeah,
Because
you know what?
We can't do it anymore, guys.
Well, we can't do it no more.
We're trying to be halal girls now. For you guys too.
Exactly. So you're not looking at your husband sideways when you listen to these stories.
Exactly. We're leaving behind depressing episodes.
Depressing episodes.
It's going to be fun.
Wholesome.
Thriving.
Uplifting.
Flirty.
Yeah.
Empowering. And I'm finally leaving behind my 20s. So sad. Like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
No, that is actually it's like a death, a new life at the same time.
It's a new life. It's a new. I always think the next 10 years are going to be great.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
because my frontal lobe is there now.
Yeah, and it's only up from here, isn't it?
Exactly. Right, should we see what the ladies have?
Let's see what the girls have said.
You guys are leaving behind. Someone said Bobby Brown.
I wonder why. It's a boycott
list.
Is it a BDS product?
Yes. Someone goes, not planning my life. I found that as soon as I am planning my life, Allah shows me a better plan. So I think what she means is not planning to the T.
Yeah, not being too rigid.
Exactly. Because I love that for you.
Your life is, planned by the best.
And you know what I really like and I really embrace? Just enjoying life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I remember putting myself into these like milestones, like I'll graduate uni, I will get a job, I will get to this next level. Like you're always trying to get to this next level and you don't enjoy what's happening now.
And shall I make you guys laugh? The next level doesn't exist because what does the dunya do more than ever? Makes you chase.
Chase that.
So practice being content with what you have.
Indeed. Someone goes praying Fajr late. Valid. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's proper, that one.
It's a madness for everyone.
Madness. Although at the moment it's quite
I think the prayers at night, this winter period,
it's not bad.
I love them.
I quite like it.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm loving it.
But in the summer it's a bit of madness.
It's a bit peak, I'm not gonna lie. Someone goes, having low standards and not knowing my worth, caring about what others' opinions are.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. And you know what? It takes a lot of balls to not care about what others say.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It takes a lot of balls.
Because you're going to be burning for like the first 2 weeks just trying to not say anything.
Indeed.
And then you realise, it's the mean shit.
Next one is holding high expectations for others only will disappoint. She's leaving that behind. I feel like you should think good of people.
Yeah.
I don't think you should think negatively of them.
Exactly. I mean, like holding them to a high standard probably means that she's placing them on a pedestal, which isn't necessarily good. It's good to just...
But I feel like you should always be positive.
Standard. Yeah, always be positive. Just have like the best...
intentions.
Yeah, the best judge of character.
Someone goes, men who aren't obsessed with their girls. So she's leaving that behind.
Yes.
Valid. I agree with that.
100%
if
agree with
obsessed
that.
with you, I don't see the point.
There's no...
Life's too short.
He needs to go. I'm so sorry.
There's no point.
But I'm just going to stop talking about this because I just feel like I'm going to create fitna. No, I'm being serious. I don't want to talk about that stuff no more because we're a halal podcast.
You're allowed to talk about a man being obsessed with you.
I love a man to be obsessed with me.
God, someone loves attention, guys. Oh. Anyway, someone goes, I'm going to leave behind that I don't mind my own business. Now, that is me too. Because, you know, when drama happens, my ears are perking up, guys. And that's all of you. So don't be silent.
I don't do stuff like that.
I know you do, number one, because when something happens outside Colton's window, she is like she's floating in the air just to go and watch. Okay.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'll have to make you guys
the
laugh.
lights come off quickly.
Yeah, you got to turn all the lights off.
And then you look out the window.
You know, it's changed though. Now we just stand at the front door.
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
You're even more confident with that.
Yeah, we don't even care. We don't even look out the window no more because looking out the window means you've got to kind of bend over the banister sort of thing.
Worse, yeah.
Now we just stand at the door and watch.
Valid. The other thing I was going to say, someone goes, the single life, inshallah. Oh, so she wants to get married.
Oh,
I love that.
May Allah make it easy for you.
Someone goes, bye boys, hello men. And we love that.
love that too. Look, everyone needs a bit of masculine energy.
Guys, I just hope everyone gets their number one.
Their number one. Yeah.
Their Adam.
The love of their life.
That's all we need. Someone goes, hopefully one-sided friendships. Oh, damn.
Oh, do you know, they're quite
That's
jarring.
actually very hard.
One-sided friendship.
That's so jarring.
Jarring, yeah.
Like, imagine you're not giving me the same energy.
No, I don't like that. Imagine I'm going out my way for you.
Imagine you're ghosting me as your friend.
Imagine I'm going out of my way for you.
I'm dying.
Repeatedly.
I'm actually.
And I get nothing back.
I'm going to stalk you. I'm going to be so angry. That livid. Imagine that. Seething that you're airing my call after I said, can we go out? How horrible is that?
No, I don't like
But how can you even say to someone, I don't want to be your friend anymore? That's so horrible.
But also, you know what it is? That statement that, okay, one-sided friendships, we need context. Because if it's the thing where your friend doesn't really want to go out with you, maybe she's just a homebody.
Maybe she just doesn't want to hang out with you. Maybe she just doesn't like you.
Maybe you guys just have two different personality types. Maybe she's type A and you're type B.
You know what's so funny? Did you see that viral thing of those two girls on TikTok? No, on Twitter. And basically they were friends. Then a guy got involved and one of them started dating the guy, and then the other one took his hoodie, and then she bought him a sandwich.
Same.
And then she kept the hoodie and took a picture with it in a thong.
Yeah.
And then she bought him a sandwich.
Was it actually in a thong? Did she say thong?
Yeah, it was in a thong. Then she added him to her private story and sent cheeky pictures.
You know that story?
And said it was
just the tea that I needed that evening.
And then what else did she do? She bought him the sandwich, she took the pictures, took the hoodie.
But you know what was mad about the sandwiches? She bought the sandwich the day before and kept it overnight for him.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the whole thing is weird. And the way she gaslit her to the point where she was like, he's just my friend, like, you're like choosing a guy over me, like, sis. Like, you had a plan.
We all know what happened.
You plotted. Just admit it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
And also the hoodie thing is wild to me.
She borrowed his hoodie and then she kept it and then took pictures with it and just said she liked the hoodie.
And she said in the video, I just liked the hoodie. It was a nice hoodie.
No, but why would you keep it? And it's your... The funny thing is, yeah, I don't... Any of my married friends... Okay, take out the context that I'm Muslim. But if I wasn't Muslim, I would still not know my married friends or like my friends with boyfriends. I would not know their men like that. I'm not even going to know his name. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like if I see him in the street, I'll probably like, oh, that's him. I wouldn't even say hi to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, to what point would you get comfortable with your friend's guy?
To be taking hoodies, buying them sandwiches.
No?
That's a bit wild. But I think it's because it's only...
There's something else that she did as well, though.
I feel like it's wild to us because
what
of
was
just
it? The hoodie, the sandwich.
tarbiyah that we've had.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
She did something else, though. It was the hoodie, the sandwich, and something else that she was triggered by. I don't know what it was.
Was it not something about close friend stories and posting thirst traps?
Yeah, maybe it was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was
that. That is a bit wild.
But to me, I was like, girl, you were plotting. And then everyone was like, okay, we need to see this guy that they're obviously fighting over. And, the guy,
and lo and behold, he was
who's a
little gym rat.
Little gym rat, you know.
Big muscles.
That's all you have to say.
Doing press-ups on TikTok.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can see...
Generic.
I can see why.
Definitely. Guys, at this point, yeah, if you're not happy with your friendships, network. Go make new friends.
Yeah.
Like,
valid.
There is no point. Do you know what I mean? Life is too short. And someone finally said, all the fast that I need to make up, which just reminds me, I've got 2 months worth of fast to make up because of my children. You need to be in a household where everyone is very, like, strict on fasting. If you're on your own, you've got to have really difficult, yeah. You have to have a lot of iman, but also a lot of, what am I saying? Discipline.
Yeah. No, it's hard. It's definitely hard fasting in a household where not a lot of people are fasting. And it really helps when you are in an environment with people who are observing fasting.
Indeed.
So, yeah, props to the girls that are making up fasts.
I mean, it's the best time to do it.
Yeah. Hey, girlies. I've recently started listening to your podcast and have been loving it. Oh, we love a new listener.
We love that. We love you.
Oh, welcome, girl. Love the show recommendations and the chit chat. It's like a catch up with friends. Love to see Somali sisters thriving.
Love that.
Thanks, gal. Now let me get to my dilemma. Right, so she says, I've had a best friend since year 2. I'm 25. We were quite close. And even though we went different schools and had other friendship groups, we always had each other and everyone knew that. Year 2.
That's actually really lovely.
I know. In college, she met a guy that was a couple of years older and she became very serious with him very fast. We met a couple of times and of course I was supportive of my friend as long as she was happy. Cute. Of course, like any relationship, there were ups and downs, but their relationship became quite toxic around the 2-year point. It's quite a serious relationship.
Okay.
My friend would always confide in me about their issues, so I was a bit too up to date with their relationship, even though I knew this wasn't really my business. My friend needed someone to lean on, so I tried to help her and give her advice. There were multiple times that I felt my friend was in the wrong, but I told her privately and helped with finding a solution. Up to this point, me and my friend have never had a fight, but there was an instance where they had a fight, and when I heard his side, I was really upset with my friend, considering all the advice that I gave. That night, we got into a massive fight, long paragraphs and all, and we both were out of character and said some mean things. For me, it wasn't about the situation, but more about how she reacted when I called her out and said some really spiteful things like, if you agree with him, then why don't you take him?
Oh, good Lord.
Since that argument, we didn't talk for 2 years and we reconnected last summer. In all honesty, I didn't hold any grudges, and when we spoke, we were clarified that what happened was the heat of the moment. But since she's back now in my life, I've been finding it extremely difficult to act like how we were before. Things are not the same. We didn't talk for 2 whole years and I've changed, and so has she. I just want to know if it's worth rekindling the friendship. Advice needed. Thanks, girls.
So they were friends for a long time. This one started dating a guy. She started talking badly about the guy. Whatever issues that they had, she started telling her friend. So she's giving her advice. Then one day she reacts because she's gone on the guy's side, and then she says,
yeah, so she's gone against the advice that her friend has given her, and the friend has heard the guy's side and agrees with the guy. Did she say, I agree with the guy? She said she heard his side and was really upset with her friend, considering all the advice that she gave her. And then the friend...
I just think, why are you going to ask for advice if you can't take it?
Yeah, and also, why are you going to ask for advice if you're going to act against the advice? I mean, we do that a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, but you can ask your friend for advice and she can give it to you, and it's your duty to accept it or not take it, but you don't react because you don't like the advice she's giving you.
And also, when you finally do hear both sides and your friend has now taken the guy's side, and I don't think she took the guy's side. I think she just went with the most reasonable
explanation for whatever the situation is. And
like sometimes, Holder, like even you, when you do something wrong, I tell you,
but you just take it.
But you don't go like...
But you can have him.
That overreaction is a bit wild for me.
It's a bit mad. I mean, I don't think they should have stopped talking for 2 years over that. Yeah, I would say it's like a 1 week stop talking and then you get over it.
And then you reconcile.
Like 2 years is a bit much. And 2 years has made it even more awkward now, because it's like,
left
how are we going to come back?
Gaping hole in the friendship.
And you can move on. You can replace that friend with someone else in those 2 years. You can move on from the situation.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a very techie scenario.
I don't think it's techie. I just think you can either get... So what did she say? So have they reconciled now?
So they've spoken again, and she wants to understand whether we think it's worth rekindling the relationship, having not spoken for 2 years. This is the thing. It's like 2 years is a long time.
But also you need to think you've been friends for a long time.
Since year 2. But yeah, you've been friends for a long time. 2 years without speaking to each other is a long time. A lot has happened in that time. Things have changed. So she's basically got to weigh up whether or not a friendship since year 2 means more to her than this argument.
Or she also needs to weigh up, has her life been easier now that she's been gone out of her life for 2 years?
That's a hard
That's
truth.
a valid. You can be friends with someone for a very long time, but really they're like the thorn in your life.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
So she needs to sit down and reflect on what has gone right in her life since the end of this friendship.
Like, has she moved on?
Has there been a lot of...
Is she thriving?
Has the sun been shining?
Is she at peace?
Has the coffee tasted sweeter?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean?
Are you waking up at night?
Is the breakfast filling you up that morning?
Exactly. Are you a happy human?
That's so sad, isn't it?
No, but I'm telling, it's the truth. Life is too short to be unhappy and to be resolving someone's issues 24/7. Yeah? What is kasidaran in Somali?
What's worse than that?
What's worse than that is someone that's asking you for advice and then throwing it back in your face. What is the point?
It's true.
It's 2024 soon. Is it worth it rekindling something that you know is just going to end up the way it was? But then again, we can say that she's changed.
Yeah.
And she's apologized. And then
maybe in slow steps they can get back to how they used to be. But I just feel like that 2-year gap is just going to cause a lot of awkwardness. And also she says herself that she's finding it difficult to reconcile. She said it since she's been back in my life, I've been finding it extremely difficult to act like how we were before. So there's the pressure to act how they used to act before, knowing that they've both changed. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know.
For me,
what would you do in that situation? Hot seat. With me. I'm joking. Really, it doesn't count because we're family. You know, family, they beef.
But with a friend.
And get back together very quickly.
I think it depends on the friend, and I think it depends on what this person brought to my life.
Okay, this happened between you and one of your friends, between you and Galado. Let's say you and Galado went all the way back.
Galado have just started our friendship. Do not bring this to us.
Let's say you both went back as far as year 2.
If Galada brought no goodness to my life and I felt like she was the thorn in my life and I kept trying to resolve her issues and we kept arguing, she never listened to me and she never listened to my advice and it was very problematic and I felt like I was anxious all the time or I felt under pressure, then no, I would be at peace. Because sometimes it's easier to leave someone behind that is not doing anything good for you, that is not of service to your life. Now, I'm not saying your friends are of service, but it's a transactional situation here. It's a two-way street.
And I also think...
I'm good to you, you're good to me.
I also think if you're constantly the person that's cleaning up someone else's mess, I'm sorry, but that person's taking you for granted.
She's got to get a cleaner herself.
Right? She's got to clean up her own mess. And you know what? I don't even agree that she should have been chatting shit about her man to her friend.
Okay, no, because you're allowed to do that because you need... Okay, it's the level of chatting shit that you do.
It's like, okay, if a problem has presented itself and you need genuine advice, I think it's okay.
No, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I said this before, yeah? I'm so sorry, but you need to be telling your friends, your closest friends, about who the man is. And you need to be telling him... pause, let me land, yeah? You need to be telling them, like... Is this person good for me? You guys are my friends, you know me. Because sometimes people get into situations where they're with people who are actually fucking toxic and they don't recognize it until the end when really their friends could have told them.
I get it.
But that is in a different situation.
I get it. But two things, yeah. Number one, I don't think that the friends need to G-check the man. I do think if red flags have been presented during talking stage, it's okay to discuss those things with your friends because they can actually give you sound advice about whether or not the person's worth pursuing. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you could talk about the issue, but I don't think you could just be like, do you know what I mean? This is my man.
No, I'm not saying parade your man. I'm saying I think it's healthy to talk about your relationships with your close friends. Yeah. Now, I don't mean you need to dog out your man. Yeah, but I'm saying you can talk about issues.
Yeah, issues. That's what I mean. I don't think you need to talk about the relationship like as a whole.
No, of course not. I'm just talking about...
I think if there's something that's like worrying you or something that's been weighing heavy on your mind, it's nice to offload those things to get a second opinion. But I don't think really you need to be discussing the ins and outs of a relationship with your friends. But another thing is, now... The friends, the thing is, this I feel like with her, where it could have been like 1 or 2 issues and she helps out, she's become the go-to person to basically resolve the drama to the point where the man is going to her, to the friend, and basically telling him his side of the story. And I think that's a really weird dynamic. I don't know.
I can see why people would fall into that because everyone's really close. But my point here is, to her, if her only role in this friendship is to resolve issues,
that's a big problem.
Is it worth it?
That's very problematic.
That's what I'm saying. She needs to tally up. She needs to sit down the same way you would write the pros and cons of the guy you're dating. She needs to write the pros and cons of this friendship. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Anyway, yeah, no, girls, like on this podcast, me and Hada, tell your friends the issues. Tell them your issues.
No, I'm actually being serious because so many people are silent with toxic ass men.
Yeah, and they won't. And the thing is, another thing is,
and they won't say anything because of pride of feeling like they've got a man.
Yeah, and a lot of women don't want to reveal. Like they don't want to reveal that stuff.
Yeah, because it's shameful.
But it's so important to reveal that stuff.
I mean, the stuff isn't shameful. They feel like it's shameful.
They feel like it's shameful, but it's, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, or evil eye.
Oh my God, evil eye needs to let our people go.
It needs to let our people go.
If you look nice one day, you're not getting evil eye. I'm so sorry. No one's watching you like that. If you post
your picture on the gram, like, you're not getting evil eye.
No one is watching you like that.
No one's watching you like that. And also, like, I just find this concept of evil eye so annoying because everyone always runs to evil eye as the first point of like thing as to why something's gone wrong. And I don't think that's the case. Either you're a shitty person, B, and it's just bad karma. Not that we believe in karma, but you know what I mean. And B, you're not reading your adhkar.
Valid.
You're not reading your adhkar.
And if you're praying and reading your adhkar, you won't get evil eye.
Won't touch you.
Valid. Like,
so if you're constantly prone to evil eye, maybe, you need to if you're constantly prone to evil eye, you need to look within and think, you know what am I not doing, which I could be doing better. But posting a picture on social media, you got a spot the next day, no, hun.
Yeah, no one's watching you like that. I'm so sorry. Reality check. I mean, Allah barak to all of you guys. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying, like, it's not everyday evil eye.
It's not everyday evil eye.
But I get the concept of like, and also in our culture, I feel like having like a dating or like having a guy, maybe nowadays it's like a very
it's like if trendy, I reveal the man, then I'll get evil eye.
Like nowadays people are a bit more trendy to reveal their guys.
Yeah,
I feel like the soft launches, the hard launches are everywhere now.
Yeah,
and whereas back in the day I felt like everyone
was hiding their mans.
Everyone was hiding their mans.
Yeah,
and it's just like I just wish there was a database that you could just post a man's picture and be like, did any of you lot know him? Real quick before I do this thing. Do you know what I mean? No, but for real. Because it's trifling.
There's a lot of trifling behaviour.
There is a lot of married men on Hinge. I'm so sorry. I'm laying it all out, but it's the valid truth. And if no one is like G-checking this, what are we going to do? People are going to be stuck in very heartbroken situations.
It's crazy.
But
on the flip side, we have to think good thoughts like of people and, trust that they're a good person.
There's two sides to every story.
Do you know what I mean? Because if the person senses that trust energy from you, then they are more likely to...
And maybe she didn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah, maybe she didn't have anyone to talk to.
Maybe he was gaslighting her and she felt isolated.
True. It's true. There's a lot of reasons why someone will divulge their relationship problems to you. And I think most of the time it comes from desperation. Exactly. They're looking for a way out. They need help. They're trying to understand certain things. And it's not a bad thing. If somebody comes to you with information like that, I think people have a right to do right by them and give them good information. And I think the friend's done that.
I agree.
But, if someone is consistently not taking the advice on board, and granted, sometimes I don't take your advice, Hada. I just go with what I think is right, and this comes from ego, stubbornness, etc. And also a thing where you're trying to keep things.
Also, you're navigating how your situation is.
Exactly, and you can't often rely on someone else's advice because only you know your situation.
Exactly, and also, this is why it's difficult. If someone is in a shitty situation and like the person that you're seeking advice from has only like experienced negativity, or like they're going through a shitty phase, like that will transfer onto your advice. Am I making sense? Like, let's say I'm in my relationship's like going through a very difficult phase at the moment. I'm not telling you, but you're asking me for advice, and then my my advice is one-sided because I'm going through this difficulty, so I'm not being impartial to what's happening on both ends. So my advice will only come from like the negative stance of me, that whatever I'm experiencing will transfer onto you.
Exactly.
So like the advice isn't actually
balanced.
It's not balanced. It's not authentic.
So,
do you know what I mean?
Like a lot. The advice friends give you usually comes from like a protective place.
Yeah.
So if you're divulging information that is negative, automatically
that might trigger the other person.
Yeah, automatically it's going to switch something in them for them to try and protect you and take you away from that situation.
So they might not even give you rational advice.
It's very biased advice. Exactly. And the thing is, only the person in the relationship can really gauge what to do.
But I mean, sometimes your friends can wake you up.
Yeah, sometimes your friends can wake you up. Sometimes your friends can offer very balanced advice. Maybe it's this or maybe it's that.
Valid.
Right? And I think that's quite good. It's good to always be balanced. Not neutral, but just balanced.
Valid.
But yeah, like, I don't know, it's a hard one. I just think it's a hard one.
I just think it's up to her, like, my love. Honestly, I think deep down she knows the truth.
But do you think the friend should have...
Also, 2 years is mad.
Yeah, do you think the friend should have ended the relationship with her bestie because of this split?
No.
I don't think so either.
No. Imagine she's not even with the guy.
It's like, oh, because he didn't take my advice. I don't think that's like... I think that's something that I would make up with my friend.
I would get over it in a month. It's not
like
that
a
deep.
month.
But then some people are a bit more stubborn. But anyway, it's up to you. I think deep down you know what the answer is.
Yeah. I think you know what you need to do.
And also, if you've come back together now, it might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Things might have changed.
And you guys might even deal with issues like this in a healthier way going forward.
And you might not have the same friendship as before, and maybe that's a good thing.
And can I just say, sometimes when people experience really big problems between one another, it usually makes them stronger because they've been through something together. Do you know what I mean?
Valid.
So this could teach them, there's a lesson in this. Don't go this long without speaking to each other. Don't jump to conclusions. Let people make their mistakes. All of that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
And Zini, and you shouldn't even be ignoring someone for, is it 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days, right? That's like the most. And then you're meant to resolve the situation. So, girlies, don't leave things for 2 years. I'm not going to lie. That would eat me up alive.
Yeah, guys. And honestly, this is like a long friendship. They know a lot about each other. They probably know each other's families.
Because she must know all my dirt. There's no way I could.
I would keep that one close.
I would keep that one close. I'm so sorry. She could write a tell-all about me on TikTok.
Do you know what I mean? She could do a surviving Cultorn series on TikTok.
For real.
No, like that
Exposing Cultorn.
You got to get that friend back.
You got to get her back. Just saying. Anyway, guys, is there anything else that we missed on this episode?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it, girlies. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We love you guys. Make sure you continue sharing with your mothers.
Aunties, sisters,
I think this is a good episode
cousins.
to share with mothers.
Yeah. Oh, did you have to think for a second?
Did we say anything risque? And thank you guys so much for the support on YouTube and all the comments that you're leaving on the Apple podcast. We appreciate it all.
Guys, can I just say I'm loving the YouTube comments at the moment.
I know.
They're just really sweet.
I love them.
I actually love the YouTube lot.
Guys, we've got one more episode this season and then we are going on a little break for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
I think it's 4 weeks.
Guys, we're going on the Christmas holidays early.
Honestly, I'm going to be binge watching and sitting down doing nothing.
Are you crazy? I'm stocking the fridge.
Do you know what I mean? But
I'm buying the chocolates.
But you guys can catch up with us on our broadcast. Just check out what we're doing on the stories and on the broadcast. It's going to be fun. And then we're going to be back on January 8th, inshallah, for a bigger and better season. So let's go.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and download that episode.